Right, guys, let's talk LinkedIn fundamentals for people selling B2C services online. Truth be told, I tried to record this video for 2 hours yesterday. I just couldn't find it in me. Things just weren't flowing. Okay, so I feel much better today. I'm going to blast this out in one take and I'm going to show you how to use it, why you should use it, who should use it. I'm going to walk you through some systems and softwares that you can subscribe to so that you can actually automate your outreach to potentially win new business and save some time in your day. And I'm even going to give you access to some scripts and processes that not only I've followed, but I've had sales teams, sales professionals, coaches, consultants, CEOs, directors, you name it, all follow this process as well so that they could get more leads, build their pipeline, get appointments in their calendar so that they can collect more cash, close more deals, and of course, increase their revenue as well. So, quick plug for those that don't know, because I'm going to put this on YouTube as well. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Dan. I'm the founder of what is now Sales Ascension, which is a sales as a service agency. We build a lot of sales systems, CRMs. We work with offers. We refine them. We make it easier to collect more cash. We do fractional sales management. We do in-house sales training, whether it's for sales teams or just working with coaches. I'm actually just about to launch a program, which is my first ever own do-it-yourself offer with kind of like some kind of community element to train people selling low-ticket, high-ticket coaching info services online. The sales trainer that they need to close more deals. Okay, so if you've got an offer, if it's not performing as well as you want it to, if you're not getting the attention that you want it to get, if you want to start collecting more cash, close more deals, make more money, and you want to have a chat, I don't know if I can help you, but let's have a chat and let's see if I can. Or your offer could just be in a fucking really good place and you want to take it to that next level. I'll walk you through who I've worked with, the results that I've had for clients that I've worked with. Generated over £3 million in online sales now for all the clients that I have worked with as well. So I'll walk you through some of that stuff as well. Okay, so let's dive right in. Who should use LinkedIn? So really anyone, in my opinion at least, anyone that believes their consumers are going to be on this platform. Okay, so if you're working with builders, you may find some builders on here, but maybe your efforts would be best spent probably on Facebook and TikTok. I think would be a great platform for you. If, let's say, you are a high ticket performance coach that works with C-suite professionals, CEOs, directors, whatever it may be, it's going to be quite it's going to be very easy for you to find your ideal clients on LinkedIn and not just wait for business to come to you like you do on other platforms as well. So blend in the who and the why here. So who should use it? Anyone that believes their consumers are going to be hanging out. Now, if you're just a coach that's working with people over 10, 12, 16 weeks, let's say, you're helping them transform their physique. If you're, I don't know, maybe you've got not really sure of another example, but what I would recommend you do is look back through your last 10, 15 clients that you've onboarded, look at the occupation box and look at like some common positions. It may be that there are no common positions, but maybe if you go back through your top 10 to 15 clients that you love working with, maybe there's some similarities there. There may not be any similarities. Some of you may find that, oh, actually, all these guys work in marketing, and like, these would be my best guys. These guys work in sales. Why? I don't know. It could be that they're driven, they're highly motivated, they hold themselves accountable, whatever it may be, right? Look for commonalities. If you've not got any commonalities, that's cool, but you may just get some occupation. So, for example, I've got accountants, I've got marketing managers, I've got sales directors, whatever it may be, right? It could be that you're working with other personal trainers. It could be you're doing, I don't know, you're working with, you're training people on SEO, for example, in which case, you can then go after people in SEO positions, quite junior positions on LinkedIn and help them get out of employment and start their own freelancing, okay? So, go back through your last 10 to 15 clients that you onboarded and look at their occupations, okay? Shortlist your top 10 to 15 clients or the top 5 to 10 clients that you love working with and look at their occupations. And when we get into the how section on this video, that's how I would recommend you searching, okay? When it comes to the why you should use LinkedIn. I mean, it depends what position your offer's in right now. Okay, if you're in a position where Instagram's working really well, maybe you're running ads, you've got a VSL, etc. LinkedIn can still be um, a beneficial platform to you because it's just another audience where you can now go out to market and you can start, bringing in more business for your offer that's already performing really well. If your offer's not performing, if it's not getting the engagement and attention that you would want it to get from the likes of Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and you're creating content, but not a huge amount is coming in, you want to increase revenue. We can do some outreach on Instagram and the likes of TikTok and stuff, but people have weird usernames. Not everyone has a profile picture. It's not a professional environment, right? So it's harder to outreach, and we're waiting for people to follow us, like something, or engage with us on a poll, which are all strategies and methods that can work. I mean, I've done some like ManyChat automations recently where, since they've launched the new feature, which is you can just automatically DM new followers and stuff. It produced some engagement, but in my opinion, Instagram and Facebook perform the best when you are creating organic content, but you're also then running paid ads on those platforms and you're pushing people through to a free training where they can opt in, you collect some data, they watch the training, they go do an application, and then they book a call, and you have some form of sales professional, SDR or setter, that is then contacting all the leads and trying to get those leads into your closers calendar or your own calendar as well, okay? And when it also comes to LinkedIn, this training specifically on B2C, again, the approach is slightly different to B2B, but on Instagram, not everyone's going to have like what their profession is or anything. And you can't just start messaging people. Let's say if you're a performance coach, you can't just start messaging people like, hey, looks like you could lose some weight, I can help. Whereas on LinkedIn, you can be like, hey, I'm going to show you how I can do this now, but you can tailor it per niche or per position. So for example, you could be connecting with marketing managers and you could be saying, hey, I work with marketing managers like yourself, marketing directors like yourself, marketing professionals like yourself, whatever it may be. I've helped people like Kyle achieve insert result in Y time. I'm not sure if it's something you're interested in, but thought it'd be a pleasure to connect. And if there's anything I can do to help, let's arrange a chat. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to walk you through some better scripts, but that was just an example. Okay. So who should use it? Anyone that believes their consumers are on here. Why you should use it? It's got really good search features, which I'm going to walk you through right now. I think it's got over 1 billion users or something at this point as well. It's a professional environment where people will have, profile pictures. We can find people by position, location, etc. And having shortlisted our top 10 clients, our last 10 clients that we onboarded, we've now got some titles that we can start to go after. Okay, so now we've gone over the how and who. Let's go. So now we've gone over the why and who. Let's now go into the how. Before we actually start to use LinkedIn's search features, okay, we need to make sure that we've got both a company page and our personal profile optimized, okay? So this right now is my personal profile. You can see here, you need to have a professional banner. Ideally, I'm arranging a shoot at this moment in time where I'm going to go record some content in a studio, so this will be updated. But ideally, you want a professional profile photo. Quick disclaimer as well, what's working for me right now in sales ascension is Instagram stories and just referrals. I called a few people that I've worked with, asked if there's anyone that they know. That's pretty much what's worked for me since 2019, if I'm honest, okay? That being said, I now want to scale not only my clients' offers, but I want to actually scale my own offer, okay? And I want to get this agency to a point where we're doing over 150K a month with a team of 3, okay? I've got the plan, I've got the mentor, and I'm now just actioning every single thing as well. So my LinkedIn doesn't look how it's going to look given the plan that we have for 2026, okay? And anyone watching this free training, whether you want to have a call with me or you just want to get access to all that I'm saying in this video into a transcript, including all the scripts, I'm not sure if there'll be a link below the training or something, but send me an email, comment on YouTube, wherever this video is going to be, and I'll make sure I send this out to you as well, so you can apply. You can apply everything. Okay, so professional banner, professional profile picture. I like to have a short bio. Make sure that when you're sending the connection request, if they do visit the profile and they want to see basically what you're about, who you are, what you do, or who you help, they can get that from this one sentence. So anyone that connects with me, they know that I help B2C, B2B sales teams close more deals with our done for you training and sales system. Okay. If they don't have a B2C or B2B sales team, or they don't themselves sell a B2C or a B2B offer, there's no point in them connecting with me. So they can they can make a quick assumption. From there, they're going to scroll down and they're going to want to see my about section. Okay. Will people read this? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Most people, in my opinion, are going to look at your profile picture and they're going to look at your banner. Okay. If they do decide to scroll down, you just want to make sure that you use GPT or a trained GPT, chat GPT even, and you come up with an about me section, and then you want to make sure that you've got some posts. Now, if it's a brand new platform for you and you've not posted on LinkedIn in a while or ever, spend the next 48 hours taking content that you've posted on the likes of YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and post 3-4 times a day over the next 48 hours, so that when people do come to your profile, if they decide to click show all posts, you've got a series of posts with some engagement on it. Okay, you can see here there's some posts from me. They now know, oh, Dan's a real person, and it's not kind of some AI bot or something, and they can make, again, a very quick assumption, if they haven't already, whether or not they're going to accept your connection request. Okay, so just going back to my profile, banner, profile picture, bio. I also do like to have a link in here as well. I'm going to put mine in, just realize I haven't even got it, so I'll put my call booking link in here. Or it could be a link to your website, it could be a link to your VSL, it could even be a link to your main social profile. If you've got followers or a good presence on Instagram, let's say, you can link people from that to your main profile and they can then connect with you then, especially if you've got your bio optimized on Instagram. Maybe you've got a link tree and links on there, and they can click that and they can see newsletter, free training, free resources, inquiry form, call booking, free consultation, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, and you can put in that in there as well. It's really just preference. I've not really got any data to say that one link works better than the other. Okay, I personally am just a fan of either your website, your links on here, or your main social profile, so you can build trust. Okay, and then finally, once you've got that, you just want to make sure that you've got your experience optimized. So everything that you've done over the years, just make sure that you've got it on here as well. So you can see here, for example, like in this position with where I was running my previous agency, Sales Ops, or what was referred to as Hedge Socials once upon a time, I've used a trained GPT here to say, create me a LinkedIn description for what I did with Sales Ops. Okay, and I talked to him about it was a done for you CRM, sales systems, AI automation agency, blah, blah, blah. And then I just copy and paste that into here, so it looks really, really professional. Okay, we need to now do the same with the Sales Ascension. Right, that being said, that's the personal profile optimized. Now we'll head on over to the company page. So a good example of this would actually be my property company. Okay, so we'll click the page here. Again, banner, profile. We have a post on here as well. They can see who works at the company, where they're located. Okay, and then also if they want to contact us, it'll take them directly through to the website. Again, it's very much like the personal profile, but I would encourage you to have a company page optimized as well, regardless of what you're selling: fitness coaching, business coaching. It could be sales training like myself. It can be anything: SEO, marketing, digital marketing. You could be selling online info products, property education, Amazon FBA education, whatever it is, right? Regardless of what you're selling, just make sure you've got a company present. Okay. When they click through onto your profile, if they do decide to check out your company page, you want to make a good impression. Okay, so if you're already producing content on other platforms, just begin to populate it on here. Now, depending on what kind of CRM system or social media scheduling and automation software that you're using, what you can do is you can just automate all of this, block out an hour. If you're using something like a GHL, for example, schedule 4 posts a day on LinkedIn for the next week, and then, maybe be a little bit less aggressive after that to every other day, 3 times a week, if you've obviously got a backload of content on the likes of Facebook or Instagram. Okay, so now we have those optimized, we can now start making some connection requests. Okay, what I don't want you guys to do is not do that. Start making connection requests and your profile just looks dead. It's not got a good profile picture. It's not got a good banner. You could just be basically wasting opportunities for you to connect with an ideal client and them not accept it just because of the way that they're perceiving your profile. Okay, so make sure you're posting. If you haven't posted, post aggressively for the next 48 hours, 3 to 4 posts a day. Try to get some engagement on there. If it's not a completely new profile, maybe send the, for example, if I just go over to my profile, you can post. I think I did one previously about show right? There we go. Struggling with no shows. What you can then do is just send, and then you can just start sending this to a bunch of people that you already know. If you've obviously got a LinkedIn presence and got some connections already, then you can just write a message and say, hey, can you engage with this for me, please? I'm trying, use this script as well, trying to grow my presence this year, and I would appreciate the support. Okay, nice and simple. Now, if you do know these people like really well, then just send them and be like, bro, support this, do your thing, like whatever, right? Just tell them to get behind it. If you know of people in more of a professional manner, something like this would work really, really well. Okay, so just cancel that. So do that, and now we can start making connections. Right, so let's say I am a performance coach that wants to work with sales professionals. Okay, we want to work with sales professionals that we're going to write training and nutrition plans for, and the pitch is we're going to help them close more deals and increase their revenue and commissions, because they're going to be optimized and they're going to be the best version of themselves. That's a brand new offer I've just created with you guys in this training. What I would then do, I've already done this, but what I would then do is I'd open ChatGPT or a trained GPT. And what I mean by a trained GPT is train it not only on you, upload all of your content to it, talk to it about your offer, and make it aware of everything that you do, how you want it to respond to you and everything. Probably take, I don't know how aggressive you want to be with it. It can take a few weeks, it can take a few days. But train it specifically on kind of like how you talk, what you use ChatGPT for. I have a personal one, which would be like, hey, what's Avatar 3 fucking rated or something like that. And I have a business one where I don't dilute any of the questions that I ask to non-sales related, systems, marketing related topics. Okay, I'd encourage you guys to do the same as well. Okay, so open ChatGPT and say, I work with sales professionals. It can be that you work with accountants, it can be marketing managers, directors, whatever. For this case study, let's say it's sales professionals. So I'd open a trained GPT and I'd say, what are some positions that I can search for on LinkedIn so that I can then begin outreaching for? Okay, again, I've already told you I've done this already. And you can see here when it decides to open, this was my prompt. And how I use trained GPTs as well, guys, is I don't really type. I always use the voice because I just like to think aloud. And it's come up here with a few examples. So what I would probably do is I'd look at all of these and I'd take your top 5. I'd shortlist the top 5 in my opinion. And I'm going to focus on, let's do appointment setters. Actually, appointment setters may not necessarily have a bigger budget as someone like a business development representative or something like a regional sales manager, national sales manager, like a national sales manager. They're probably going to be on a good salary. Okay. So what we would do is we would open it up and then we just type search. Don't click groups, don't click hiring, just press the enter button and move forward. Okay. We're then going to go to people. Okay. If we're searching for companies, the search is going to be a little bit different. Okay. I told you we're going to look for consumers in this video. Now, if we wanted to refine this search, and LinkedIn's changed recently as well, because it used to come up with how many people had actually come up with the under this search. Okay. It's no longer showing that number. And what we're using right now, or what I'm using right now, by the way, is a free version of LinkedIn. We can actually upgrade to what is called Sales Navigator. Okay, Sales Navigator is really, really good. It allows you to have more connection requests. You can see here you get 50 in-mails. If you're not quite sure what in-mails are, it means you can message someone without actually being connected to them. Okay, I'll try and find an example as to what they would look like. Again, you can see who's viewed your profile, because right now on a free version, it just says 3 people viewed your profile, for example, and multiple other features. In my opinion, Navigator is best for the in-mails, for the increased connection requests that you can have. And again, its search capabilities are just a little bit better than that on the free version, okay? So what we can now do, I mean, this is bringing anyone with national sales manager up in their profile, okay? So this could bring up people in America, it can bring up people in the UK. If we wanted to refine location, then we can go United Kingdom. We can be more specific. For example, I could say, right, not United Kingdom, I could say I'm going to focus on Sheffield, okay? Now be aware when we're doing this, you can type in Sheffield, but then some people will come under Sheffield or some will come under Greater Sheffield area. So I typically would use both, okay? This will then refine that search. Again, you can't really see because there's still so many people with that title. So what you can then do is you can go to all filters, and you may just want to choose to work with professionals that are English speaking, let's say, and they're in the marketing space. So they're sales professionals, but they're not managing sales teams in logistics or transport or operations or anything. We're focused on sales managers that are selling in the marketing industry. And we go to show results. Okay. Now, those searches still 10 pages or more, but it's reduced it from, again, LinkedIn used to have a feature which was this would show like 10,000 candidates. Okay. Now we've done that. It might just be 3,000, but we can't see it at this moment in time. Okay. What I can do as well is I can say people that are of second degree connections with me. So we've got, we're not directly connected, but we have some connections, mutual connections. Okay. You can see here. Okay. Brilliant. So now we're refining that search. Now, if we want to take it a step further, we can start looking at companies that they're at. Okay. So you may think that a company that you followed online has a great culture. For example, those of you that may be aware of, let's say, I don't know, Andy Elliott. Okay. Andy Elliott is a US sales trainer who's really into his fitness. Now, I think he's actually launched something in the fitness space, but if he hadn't done that, going to his team and saying, you know, Andy's big on fitness, like, I'm the coach that can get you fucking shredded, may have been a potential strategy. Okay. For now, I'm not going to go on any companies, and I'm just going to keep this search as it is. Okay. So now we've got all these applicants, and all we want to be doing is making connection requests and sending them a message. So I've got a little process that I follow here. As you can see, we'll go back to the softwares and automations on the back end of this as well. So there's a few ways that we can approach this. We can be direct, we can play a long game, we can be soft with our messaging. We can follow up frequently, or we can be more sporadic, shall we say? Okay. So what I like to do on all connection request is add an intro message. Again, if you're on the free version, you will run out of these. So you can continue making connection requests, but LinkedIn will only allow you so many intro messages on the connection request. Okay, so this individual, for example, she's a go-to-market manager driving scalable growth through back-end marketing strategies. Okay, great. I really, if I'm honest, and this is not to be sexist, but I only want to coach males because I'm just a better male coach. Okay, I actually wouldn't mind this woman being in my network though, so I'm just gonna actually make a connection with you now on this training and show you how I would then follow up. Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would go to connect. I would then go to, well, I would highlight her name, and then I'd say add note, and I would say hi. And the script is something like this that I'm just gonna copy and paste across here. Okay, so hey, is it Mariah? Hey Maria, it would be a pleasure to have you join my network of professionals. I hope we can connect. Kind regards. And I'm just going to put down. Now we can change this. I changed this based on who, almost like a chameleon. Okay. So I could say here, it would be a pleasure to have you join my network of GTM managers and marketing professionals. It would be a pleasure to have you join my network of national sales directors and senior leaders. I hope we can connect. Kind regards. It's always the same. Hey, insert name. It would be a pleasure to have you join my network of. I hope we can connect. Kind regards, your name. That's always the same. Just what changes every time is network of professionals, experts, and senior leaders. It can be niche specific. Sales professions, sales development representatives, and cold callers, setters and closers, SDRs and closers, like whatever it may be. This is where you can change that approach. If you want to go with an evergreen version like this, absolutely fine as well. Okay, I am going to go for that in this scenario. So then I'm just going to click send. That connection request has now been sent. Now, what I also actually like to do, which I've not just done, but prior to that being sent, I would typically open up their profile. Okay, you can see my connection request is now pending. And what I would like to do, or what I would typically do, is I just have a quick look at their experience to see, for example, if this is someone that I would want to work with, like what are they posting about, if anything. And then I'd just send the message from there as well. She's actually got a few posts on here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like 2 of them. That's going to get her attention, because on the notifications tab, you'll see up here, someone's viewed your profile, someone's followed me, someone said congratulations. You can see here, Tyler's engaging with a few of my pieces of content now as well, and that's what it would come up like. So if I started to comment on her content, this is what she'd be notified with, and then she would go to network and she'd have a notification to say, Asad here, he's asking me to connect. Okay, and I can now make the decision: do I accept this, or do I ignore this? Okay, perfect. So now, once that's actually been done, this is really where we're going to go over to this document. Okay, so once they've accepted, this is where the different approaches come in. Okay. George also just reminded me of how we can also find your ideal clients, which I'll come back to. Once they've accepted, do we then just say, hey, Dan, thanks for accepting. Pleasure to connect. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good new year. Or I hope 2026 is off to a good start. No pitch. Just thought I'd say hey. Okay, very relaxed. Try and get something back for them, even if it's just a pleasure to connect. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I'd rather just say like, hey bro, this is what I do. This is how I help. If it's ever of interest to you or anyone you know, great. You want to tell me what you do? or if I can ever be of service to you as well. This is B2B, for example. Like just let me know. I want to kind of like stop the fluff, okay? And it also depends on where you're at in the business, how much time you've got. I don't personally have as like all the time in the world to be sat on LinkedIn like waiting. I'd rather just I need to get to, hey Cam, is this of interest to you whatsoever? No, okay, move on. Okay. In a B2C environment, again, because we're selling a service, it's a little bit different. Although is it? I don't know. Because if you're a SEO coach that's helping people go freelance and you're connecting with people in SEO, you could just say, hey, Dan, thanks for accepting. Absolute pleasure to connect. I hope you're well. Not sure if you've ever thought about going freelance, but I've currently got 135 people in my community that I'm helping go freelance right now. And if you ever want to chat about it, it'd be an absolute pleasure to connect, okay? That's a more direct approach, okay? That's the short game, okay? So you can see here, just so you're aware, I work with who you help, who want this result. If it helps, I'm happy to share some ideas or resources, okay? And that's always a good idea. Before you actually pitch the call, actually just pitching some ideas and resources, showing that you're competent and capable of actually helping them, providing them with value, leading with value, okay? I really do actually like that. And we can use these resources in the follow-up process as well. So once that connection request has been accepted, you'll get a notification, okay? As soon as that's been accepted or when you receive the notification, then just head on over and decide what your outreach script is, okay? Is it you're going to play the long game, which basically means you're going to send something like this, wait for them to reply. If they don't reply, then you can just send a variation of this, which would be, you don't need to do the formalities again, but you could just say, hey Dan, just so you're aware, I work with whatever, okay, and go through this part now. So you're still going to do both of them. It's on you to make a decision based on where you're at right now. Do I do this and then that, or do I just go in with this? Okay. Now we've gone through that. Really what we want to be, if you've not had a response, this is where we now start to follow up, okay? If you get a response, like what happens next? Well, it's just on you to have a normal conversation with a human, or like a human, should I say. Like, don't just be like, okay, it's better we jump on a call. Go back and forth. I mean, you can pitch a call, and I've definitely done that because I'm a big believer on saving time. Like, I don't want to spend 50 messages going back and forth to figure out if I can help you when I could just literally have a 5-minute phone call and see if it's worth us actually arranging a sit down. Okay. So use your personality and what you believe to be best. And if they do respond, just say, wicked, here's some resources. Have a read through it. It could be a Loom video about you. It could be someone I'm working with right now has just got like a free training that we've created. It comes with like a gamma deck on how to increase your testosterone naturally. It can be something like that. For example, I could send a free case study on how I increase my clients' revenue from 10K a month to 70K a month in as little as 4 months. Okay. I can send them a case study on that and say, if it's of interest to you, then look, let's connect. I can't promise I can help you right now, but if I've done it for them and you're doing something similar, it's worth 15 minutes of our time at very least to have a conversation to explore it. Like worst case scenario, you're going to leave that call with a bunch of value. You'll have absolute clarity on who I am and what I do. And best case scenario, I'm going to have a solution for you where we can work together and I'm going to show you what I can do to increase your revenue, collect more cash, close more deals. Okay? Brilliant. So use common sense. I know it's not all that common these days, but just use your initiative, use common sense. If they don't reply, this is where we then start to follow up, okay? 2 or 3 days, 1 or 3 days later, hey Dan, I'm sure checking LinkedIn messages isn't your priority or isn't the top of your priorities. Just want to see if you see my message above. That's a soft bump, okay? Shorter version is, hey Dan, just wanted to check if you saw my message above, okay? If still no response, 2 or 3 days later, again, I'll show you how you can automate this using softwares. Right now, it can just be tracked in something like Asana. It can be tracked in Google Sheets. It can be tracked in your sales CRM, or it can just be done as of when, and you allocate a few days a week to LinkedIn or a little bit of time each day, and you just start working through your DMs. This is why, personally, if budget allows, I'd just get something set up using the softwares that I'll share with you in a second, because actually trying to remember, oh, where's this person and this flow, it's too much, okay? So 2 or 3 days later, now we're going to go back to them. This would be the, oh yeah, look, I know you're busy, so I'll keep this short. I've put together a free resource with a specific benefit, i.e. increasing testosterone, hitting fitness goals, improving sales performance. If it's useful, I'll send it across. If it's not, no worries at all. Don't want to keep bothering you. Just let me know. Don't send anything else. No pressure, value, okay? That's just my own personal notes. I don't even need that in there. Perfect. Next would be, again, just following up. And we would just keep doing this. Typically, I would follow up with, and it depends what you've got going on. A good example for me would be, look, I'd do this with this girl, right? Send that connection request. I'm then going to just go with a short approach and say, hey, glad we can connect. Thanks for accepting. Just so you're aware, I work with go-to-market managers like yourself, and I help you, I don't know, increase your sales, okay? I actually want it for another reason, but let's just say that I'm going to contact her about increasing the sales. If it helps, I'm happy to share some ideas or resources, okay? If she's not then responded, I'm just going to go back in with this one, which is, look, I'm sure checking LinkedIn messages isn't the top priority in 2026, but I just want to see if you actually see my messageable, okay? If still no response, then I'm just going to say, hey, look, I've got this resource. I'll probably attach a screenshot of it in there. If this is of interest, let me send it across. I can send it now. I just don't want to be bothering you, and I don't want to be sending shit that you don't want to read. So if it's not this, is there anything else that I can send you? Okay, perfect. If she's then still not responded, maybe I'm hosting a webinar in 2 weeks. That gives me something else to go to her with. So I'm going to say, hey, look, I'm hosting this webinar on how go-to-market managers like yourself can increase their sales without spending on ads, and you can collect more cash up front, okay? Would you like to come to it? It's a completely free webinar. It's going to be 90 minutes, and I'm just going to look to provide as much value as possible. And then there's probably going to be a pitch on the back end for people to book in calls, which, you know, you're under no pressure to do so. Would you want to attend? Okay. If no response to that, then I'm just going to basically just monitor her profile. This is with no automation, by the way. I'm going to monitor her profile. Every time I see something like Georgios here, for example, I'm going to be liking, I'm going to be engaging, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and opinions on things that she is talking about, so that she can see, like, look, I'm not just trying to sell her something. I'm actually providing value, and I'm actually trying to, like, spark a conversation. Okay. Again, for B2C services, would I play more of a mass game? Maybe so, and you don't have to provide, you know, super detailed and thorough responses to absolutely everything, but you can be engaging with their profiles, keeping a tab on them, and you could just, for example, I could send this now, and I could send it to Georgios, and I could just be like, hey, bro, I know him, right? Okay, so loved this from you. With the GTM manager, I could say, hey, was it Maria? Thought this was a really good post. I think, and then I'd just attach something like super quick. And then if there's still no response, it'd be like, hey, how are you getting on? If I've messaged them and followed them up probably over a 5 to 6 week period, and I've not got a single response, I'm probably just letting them go. Like, I mean, I'd probably make it even quicker than that, to be honest. But if your offer's not in a position that, you know, you'd want to give up on someone that quick, and you're not spending on ads, you've not got lead flow, and you've not got other acquisition strategies, fight for them that little bit longer. Okay, I've known sales teams message people for 6, 12 months, 2-3 times a month, you know, so and business come off the back of it as well. So don't just give up on them so quick. Now, when we're talking about softwares and automations, just to quickly go over this again, anyone that's watching this training will get this transcript. I appreciate you sticking around, or, you know, with 40 minutes in. Quickly as well, actually, whilst we're on this topic. So another good way to find more people that you want to work with and want to serve is finding people, for example, who is your client online? Can you connect with your clients on LinkedIn? Georgios is a connection, and I would say friend of mine, and he helps businesses. He's a recruiter for sales professionals, and he helps them. He helps sales professionals with their biohacking as well. So his pitch is, look, not only am I going to find you a top performing sales professional for the vacancy that you've got advertised, I'm actually going to also coach whoever it is that you choose to hire so that they're performing to the best of their abilities. and he will work with them to, make sure that they understand how to get their sleep dialed in, nutrition, supplements, everything. It's a unique offer. It's a brilliant offer. I really, really, really do like it. And I'm going to be flying out to Greece this summer to connect once we've both hit some milestones. But Georgios, because he's working with sales professionals, anytime he's posting content, this is a great example. He's got 36 likes on it, or 35 likes on it. I would be going through all of these and I'd be looking at their titles, and I would be looking to connect with each and every single one of these. And this guy, don't know who he is, senior sales manager. Now I'm going to use Georgios as my way in here, and I'm going to message Sven and say, hey, saw you were connected to my good friend Georgios. Thought it'd be worthwhile us connecting. Again, this is a different script, and I'll use a transcript from this video to put into the doc for you as well. Thought it'd be a good reason for us to connect. Be a pleasure to have you join my network of, again, depending, you think it could be network of killers, of sales professionals, whatever it may be. Okay, so that would be my way in with him. As soon as he's responded, I'd be like, look, bro, I appreciate it. I also work with sales professionals like Georgios, but I actually help them from a X perspective, or I train salespeople on objections, whatever it may be. And that's another great way for you to start getting your foot in the door when you bring up other people's names as well. It's worked really, really well for me as well. Okay. So last minute of this training, because I'm not going to go into too much detail on these softwares because they need dedicated videos specifically for how to use them, why to use them, etc. Okay. So the first software that we can use is Instantly. Now, Instantly is an cold email marketing software, but it connects with LinkedIn, and we can use other softwares to scrape data from profiles on LinkedIn so that we can then email people as well as connecting with them on LinkedIn. Okay, so Instantly is definitely a software that if you want to not just rely on LinkedIn, but you want to send connection requests over there and engage with profiles and then scrape their data to send a follow-up across a different platform, which would be email. LinkedIn is really, really good. Better for B2B in my experience, but B2C could definitely utilize this, okay? The main software I would recommend people checking out will be Dripify, because Dripify, we can create automations like you can see here, send an invitation, and everything I've just walked you through, we can automate that entire process. You can also find emails on here as well, so then you can email them manually or put that into a sequence as well. But this really is probably one of the first tools that I ever used. It's only on LinkedIn. Again, you can scrape emails and add email into the process. You can do it so that you follow them, you view their profile. If they don't accept, you can obviously in-mail them, etc. You can endorse skills for them and stuff to get their attention, okay? It's a really good software. I believe it's cost effective as well, and its reporting is pretty cool as well. This really, really, really helped me grow my connections when I first started out on LinkedIn. Now, for those of you that want any support, obviously you know where I am, but for those of you that want to take it to that next level, the next platform I would recommend would be Lemlist. And Lemlist is basically Dripify, but now it is Dripify on steroids, in my opinion. And what we can actually do is we can do multi-channel sequences. So you can see here, once a lead has been, again, this is just their website. I'll actually do another training like behind the scenes logged in on what these workflows would look like. But now the lead has a phone number. You can see here, has the lead been called? If so, leave a WhatsApp message if they didn't answer. If the lead doesn't have a phone number, then send an email, view their LinkedIn profile. You can then leave voice notes on LinkedIn, so you're not just relying on text. I believe. Let's have a look. I was under the impression that Dripify now does voice as well, but maybe not. On Lemlist, we can leave voice notes. We can use email. We can use WhatsApp, and we can call them. Now, we can't automate the call process. You can use AI agents, and you can train an AI agent, but in my opinion, and from what I've seen, I would always have that as a manual process. It's not quite at the point yet. If you want to confirm a barber's appointment using an AI agent is absolutely fine. If you're trying to get someone's attention, to build a relationship with them, or try and get them set into your calendar or something like that, then we don't need AI agents, okay? But what we can use is something like Lemlist, and we can even use a software which was quite new to me until probably 4 or 5 months ago. But we can use a data enrichment software like Clay to scrape all of the data from LinkedIn profiles and other means, social media profiles, Facebook, which you name it, and we can then use the outreach, having had the data already enriched, and we can now start to go after people across multiple platforms. This, in my opinion, is more B2C, but I could or would use Lendless from a B2C perspective. So this is definitely great for B2B, but from a B2C perspective, I do think that it is really good, because you don't need to call, but you could connect with them via LinkedIn. And when you're not getting the success that you would want over on those platforms, you could say, send them an email or even send them a WhatsApp. Like, it can work, okay? It's quite aggressive using the WhatsApp, but the email, at least in my opinion, I think can work well. But for most people watching this training, I think recommending Dripify is a good software to start with, and it's cost effective as well. You get a free 7-day trial, and yeah, I'd recommend each of you checking out. So that is the fundamentals of LinkedIn. It doesn't get any easier than that. Start making connections, start using these scripts and processes. Use Dripify if you want to trial it out once you've done it manually for maybe a few days, just so you've got the hang of it. Start seeing if you can get any calls booked. Use a Google UTM parameter so you can start tracking where your calls are actually coming from, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., to see where the majority of your traffic is coming from. But hopefully this training was insightful. Again, anything starting, scaling, improving, increasing an offer's revenue, this is what we do at Sales Ascension, so feel free to reach out. Otherwise, apply this, and I hope it helps you make some more money and have a good 2026, guys. Appreciate it.